Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about some e-bikes here. A lot of you may not realize this, but 95% of all e-bikes are purchased online. So how do you know that you're getting a good one? So in today's video, I'm actually going to talk about a budget e-bike. This one right here, this is the Cybertrack 100. And I'm going to go ahead and take it out on the road, test it out, see what it's all about. These things are under $500, which is insane for an e-bike. This is a 21-speed e-bike with front suspension. It has the whole works. It's available on Amazon. We'll talk about it in today's video. Stay tuned. As you can see, I took this thing out for a ride. A couple things I noticed that I'm going to share with you. When you are looking to purchase an e-bike, and especially a budget one, and I would say anything in the $500–600 range or less is considered a budget e-bike. So they're going to cut corners somewhere because these are expensive to make. So in an e-bike like this, I'll just say right off the bat, a couple things that I did notice. It is a little bit smaller, the seat's not quite as comfortable, and it is a black and white LCD display. Although it is pretty bright, which is nice, it is still black and white. So there are some things that they cut, but what they didn't cut was actually a couple of very important things. So I'm going to talk about that in today's video. So first of all, let's look at the handlebars, because this really is some of the things that they did upgrade, which I really like. Now, the majority of the e-bikes out there will have just a 6 or 7 speed shifter, sometimes an 8 speed. Well, this one actually has 21 speed. So, I mean, I've not seen this in a budget bike yet. And the Cybertrack 100, I mean, you would think that they wouldn't have done that because it does add cost, but they did, which is really nice. Now, it does not have a headlight, it just has a reflector. That is something that you get, typically a headlight in a more advanced, more expensive unit. It does have your display here, as you can see. So if you power it on, it's just very basic. It literally only has your power level and then your pedal assist levels right there. Now here you've got your typical brakes, nothing too fancy there. It does have regular keys here. Now this key, basically all it's going to do is allow you to remove the battery. And like I mentioned before, it does have a front suspension. That's pretty cool. Now you don't see this very often on budget e-bikes. In fact, typically over $1,000 bikes will have a front suspension. This has it included. And like I said, guys, I think this thing at the time that I got this was around, they had a sale on Amazon. It was around $500, $600, something like that. This is pretty good bike for that. Now it does have a look that's kind of like a traditional regular mountain bike that they just added a motor and a battery to. About the battery, a lot of people are going to ask me, it is a 36-volt battery, so you're going to get some pretty good range because it is a lighter bike, so you do get good range off of this 36-volt battery. And the motor right here is a 350-watt motor. Now a lot of people think that you need that 500 or 750 watt or even a 1,000-watt motor. You could have a 1,000-watt motor, but they're still going to be regulated, at least in the United States. So you're only going to be able to go either 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, or 28 miles an hour based on the class and the regulator. So you could have a super powerful motor in the back, but you could still only go maybe 20 miles an hour because of the regulator on the bike. So there is a way to override the regulator, and I have videos on that, so make sure you check that out. But this one is a 350-watt motor. So the only difference that you're going to find in the more powerful motors is going up hills. So you will notice that in this bike, going up the hills, it's going to be a little bit slower. It's not going to have the power and the torque that you want to get up those hills. So you will have to pedal a little bit and then get the pedal assist. Maybe use your gear shifter. It does have 21 speed, so you could go up, and that will just kind of give you a little bit of a boost getting up those hills with only a 350-watt motor. Now, another corner that they do cut when you are going with a budget bike like this is you're not going to have front baskets, you're not going to have a rack in the back. So you're getting kind of a bare bones little mountain bike. But I will tell you that even though they save money on those things, you can add those things anyway for not that much money. And it's kind of nice to be able to, if you're new into the e-bike world, to be able to get into it affordably. And around $500, I mean, this bike really is a pretty good deal on Amazon. I've reviewed a few e-bikes on Amazon. Some of them, most of them are going to be over $1,000. For me to be able to do a budget bike that has a front suspension, a 21 speed, under $500–600 is pretty darn amazing. So I will put links to this bike down in the description section of this video. I'm going to take it out for a little bit more riding and kind of get some final thoughts and some rankings that I'll do right after the ride. All right, I gotta tell you guys, this thing had a lot more torque than I anticipated. I think it's because of the light frame. So there's some things about this that I just wanted to mention really quick after riding it, that it did have more power than I thought it was gonna have. And on top of that, I was thinking about this as I was riding, is bike mounts. E-bikes are very heavy, and since this is so light and it does have a straight bar, you could put it on a traditional bike mount on your vehicle and travel out on those trails. It also had really good grip. I took it off-road a little bit, just in some dirt, just to kind of get a feel for it. It was actually a pretty smooth ride. It grabbed the dirt really good. So final thoughts, under $600, I say absolutely. If you are new into e-bike world, you've never had one before, I think this is a great value. Again, this is the Cybertrack 100. I'll put links to this bike in the description section of this video. And guys, if you guys have any questions about this bike or any of the e-bikes that I've reviewed on this channel, make sure you do subscribe and comment down below. I'll get back to you guys as quickly as possible. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is the Cybertrack 100.